That's exactly how my Christmas went.
It's so very true, isn't it, John?
Right. We've had a great time. We've had a long span of generations. It's the old, it's the young, and it's just excitement for everybody.
And my kids are in from out of town this week, and it was great. It was a great family time, share with families and friends, and just have a great time at Christmas. I'm going to open the show today with some information. You know, this time of year, you always hear these end-of-year lists, things like that. It's been a good Christmas for most people, it seems like. The seasonal shopping stats are out from MasterCard, and what MasterCard said basically is that from November 1st to December 24th, retail spending is up 3.4%. That's good for the economy. The interesting part of that is online sales are up almost 19%.
Oh, wow.
So if you think about online sales being up 19% and overall retail sales being up 3.4%, that means most people are online shopping anymore.
Yeah.
One interesting stat about the online shopping is that 25% of the online shopping was done on Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Well, of course, it's the way to go. Get all those deals.
We, being a local bank, we still support local merchants, so we encourage you to go out and do that. But sometimes it's really convenient when you think of that last-minute gift or realize you forgot something.
Yeah. Always good to shop local if you can.
That is true. My wife gave me a hard time this year because apparently, even though I'm in technology, I was online challenged a little bit. For some reason, I picked the wrong address because I didn't want to ship it to the bank and realized they didn't deliver to the bank because they have a post office box.
Yeah. It happens, though.
Yeah.
It happens.
So another interesting fact, we have Ben Daulton joining us now, too, another mortgage loan originator.
Morning.
So we've got great teamwork here. I wanted to thank Dick and Evan Gottschalk for the opportunity. They're taking some well-deserved time off, so we got some great teamwork here from John Schaeffer and Ben Daulton, two mortgage loan originators. Welcome, and let's have fun today, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Another business news, Kiplinger letter. That's a pretty well-known business commentary. Talked about, this being somewhat the end of the decade. Some people can argue, does the decade end in 2019 or is it end in 2020?
Right.
But they said two companies, publicly traded companies, have shown the most revenue and stock price appreciation in the last 10 years. I'd like to maybe challenge our First Federal team here and say, do you have any idea what those two companies may be? I'll give you a hint on the first. Number two was they started as a mail order business. Now they're into streaming considerably well. Paul, do you have a guess?
My guess would be Amazon.
Netflix.
Oh, they
Number two. Interestingly enough, their revenue is up, or their stock price appreciation is up over 3,000% in the last 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So you think Netflix went from the mail order place, you used to go online and they'd mail you some videos and you'd mail them back. The other company, number one, in the last 10 years was really surprising to me. Any ideas what it may be? Think pizza.
Pizza Hut.
Domino's.
Okay.
Was the number one stock appreciation revenue generation in the last 10 years. That's very interesting to me. Because when I read about this in the Kiplinger letter, it said that in 1999, there was a consumer taste comparison. Domino's ranked tied for very last with Chuck E. Cheese. Now, in the last 10 years, it's the most revenue and stock price appreciation, well over 3,000%.
Well, they were working hard at pizza delivery when I was in college, and they really worked hard at keeping that 20-minute guarantee or free pizza.
Yeah, I remember we tried to challenge that quite a bit. Did you ever win at that game?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, that's good.
The one guy hurried so much that he dropped the pizza in the snow.
That's no good. Now I see they have their
Pizza insurance.
insurance guarantee,
Yeah.
so now you, instead of get a soggy pizza, you get a replacement probably. Well, moving on to the third thing I wanted to talk about today. At the end of the year, you hear, what is the most Google search thing? Looking at several items with Google, The 4 most popular searches for Google in 2019, kind of along with the lines of streaming. Number 1 is Disney Plus.
I can see that.
Number 2, I had no idea who these people were. Cameron Boyce, Nipsey Hussle. They were young actors, rap stars, entrepreneurs that experienced untimely deaths this year, so kind of a sad note. But the number 4 most Google search thing this year was Hurricane Dorian. And I looked that up a little bit. I mean, Hurricane Dorian, devastated the Bahamas, unfortunately, a Category 5 hurricane. But it was in existence from August 24th to September 10th.
Wow.
So it wreaked havoc all over. I know it affected our travel plans to Florida this Labor Day weekend. So those are the most 4 Google search items for the year. Trivia today. We have 2 of our best mortgage loan originators here, Ben Daulton and John Schaeffer. And we do mortgage loans. We do mortgage loans very well throughout northern Indiana. We're, in essence, a dominant player in the mortgage market because we make lots of loans. Trivia question today is, what will the total dollar amount of mortgage loans made by the bank in 2019 equal? You guys may not be able to answer this, but we'll challenge Paul maybe to answer this.
Oh.
A, is it $250 million? B, $275 million? Or C, $300 million? Well, think about that. We'll come back with the answer, but
Yeah.
no matter what the number is, 275 to 300 million, that's a considerable amount of mortgage loans.
Yes.
That's what we do. We do it very well, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. On to local sports. The Rochester girls basketball team plays at Twin Lakes tonight at 7:30. The boys host the Taylor Titans. I believe that's at 7:30 tonight. And the Rochester Zebra boys have an exciting game tomorrow. They're playing Lewis Cass at Bankers Life Fieldhouse at 3:40 tomorrow. That's a great experience for them. So,
Oh, wow.
did you ever do anything like that in your high school career? Play at a different venue, Ben?
Well, I did get to play at the RCA down my
Oh, yeah,
junior
that's
year.
right.
On our state championship run. So,
State
yeah.
championship. Congratulations on that, Ben.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Thank you. It's only been 32 years ago.
Just like the other day, isn't it?
Yeah.
That means
Yep.
you're only like 38 now, then, right?
Yeah, something like that.
That's great. Tippecanoe Valley boys are playing LaVille at Tippecanoe Valley. That's tonight. In other sports in the area, the Crossroads Classic was held this past weekend with IU, Notre Dame, Butler, and Purdue. IU had a 17-point lead through the second half of the game. Then Notre Dame came back and led by 5 with about 3 minutes to go. IU prevailed by a 3-point winning shot by Armand Franklin. He was voted the Big Ten Freshman of the Week for that week, also with an Ohio State player, DJ Carter. So IU won that game. They're 10-1 or 11-1 right now, and Notre Dame's at 8-4. IU hosts Arkansas on Sunday at 6 p.m. Interesting, they've played Arkansas. This will be the 3rd time in the last year. They played them last year during the regular season and lost. And they played them in the NIT tournament and beat them. So 3 times in 1 year. They know each other pretty well. It's almost like a Big Ten team playing.
Yeah.
In the second game at the Crossroads Classic, Butler beat Purdue 70-61. Butler's 11-1 now, and Purdue's 7-5. Butler hosts University of Louisiana Monroe tomorrow, and Purdue hosts Central Michigan. So maybe they can have a better weekend tomorrow and beat Central Michigan. Bowl games are coming up. It's that type of year right now. First off is Notre Dame. Tomorrow they play in the Camping World Bowl in Florida. They play Iowa State. Notre Dame's 10-2 and Iowa State's 7-5. And Notre Dame is a 3.5-point favorite. Are any of you Notre Dame fans? Have a prediction on the game? Do you? Okay.
I think 3.5's kind of slim, I would think.
Yeah.
Given the record, I don't know. Maybe they're.
Yeah, Notre Dame should take this.
Then- Yeah, that's confident. Support the local team, right, John? Also, the big playoff games start on tomorrow, too. Louisiana State University, LSU versus Oklahoma. LSU's a 13.5-point favorite. That's kind of surprising for me because these are the 4 best college teams in the country, and they're 2 touchdowns better than the team they're playing? Guess we'll see, right? In the Clemson-Ohio State game, and Clemson is a 2-point favorite. I believe those are tomorrow afternoon and evening. Great time to watch some college football this weekend, and then there's NFL football coming too. The Bears are lost to the Chiefs earlier this week, and they traveled to Minnesota to play the Vikings on Sunday. The Colts improved to 7-8 by beating the Panthers 38-6, and worsened their draft choice by doing that. Not that you lose on purpose or anything like that, but they changed their draft pick considerably by winning that game, I saw. And they traveled to Jacksonville on Sunday to play the Jaguars. Neither team, the Bears or the Colts, are out of the playoffs this year, so most of the teams we support locally in the NFL are done, basically, after this Sunday. There will be a Hoosier presence in Jacksonville this weekend because the Colts go there to play Jacksonville, then IU plays Tennessee in the Gator Bowl on the 2nd there. Tennessee is a 1.5-point favorite. The last time Tennessee and IU played, that was in 1988 at the Peach Bowl, and Tennessee won 27-22, and I was at that game, and Tennessee fans travel very well. They're burnt orange, and so like anytime they get a first down or score a touchdown, you hear Rocky Top. So I heard Rocky Top like too many times at that game, almost to the point it became annoying. Nothing negative towards Tennessee fans, but they have a very recognizable, victory song with that. And hopefully IU fares a little bit better this time. So good luck to the Indiana teams playing this weekend. Tanner's out also on vacation, some well-deserved time off, but he also offers his tidbits. Tanner's tidbits survive even though he's not here. On this day in 1932, in Radio City Music Hall, it opened in New York City. 1932. On this day in 1968, Apollo 8 returned to the Earth. You might remember Apollo 8. That's probably one of the most iconic pictures of the Earthrise over the moon landscape. That was an awesome picture. That's still one of my favorite pictures. And on this day in 1987, Steve Largent of the Seattle Seahawks set the all-time NFL record for career catches when he caught his 752nd pass. If any of you do trivia ever, that's usually a good trivia question, like who leads the NFL in career pass catches? It's Steve Largent. He ended his career with 819 receptions. Jerry Rice leads all receptions with 1,549, though. And on this day in 2002, Chicago, the movie Chicago, based on the musical, was released and would go on to win the Best Picture in 2003. I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Tanner always comes up with, today is a certain day. It's National Make Cutout Snowflakes Day. So we're going to have an activity at the bank later today. We're going to cut out snowflakes.
Arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts.
Need some type of snow out there right now.
Yeah. Yeah, with the weather we've had, Christmas Day, we went out and went for a walk, and, I saw bike riders, joggers out there on the Nickel Plate Trail. It was kind of great seeing all the kids in the neighborhood playing with their new Christmas stuff. So we've had great weather the last few days. We're coming back to more seasonal weather now. So no snow in the forecast, but I think it's going to be 40 today.
Yes.
Quite a bit different.
Yeah.
And appropriate today, National Fruitcake Day. Does anybody like fruitcake?
No.
Ew.
No, I don't know that I do either. I don't even know what it is. What is it? It's like
Bread with
congealed
random
mess.
Yeah.
It turns into a brick.
Yes.
Good door stops.
So I'll take back your present, John. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like it that well. Money news. It's been a great market this year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is the highest point yesterday at over 28,600, up 106. NASDAQ, basically the technology portion of the stock market, finished at 9,022, the first time ever it's been over 9,000. Excuse me. Just had my first radio sin there, right?
It's okay. Happens to everybody.
So the reason I read several reasons why the experts think the stock market's up is there's optimism about the Chinese-U.S. trade agreement, and there's something called the Santa Claus rally. didn't know this until I read that yesterday, that the 5 final days, trading days of 1 year and the first 2 days of the next year, the S&P 500 is up an average of 1.3% every year since 1950. So we're in part of the Santa Claus rally now. That's good.
Interesting.
Good for our economy.
Yeah.
Good for our local businesses. The first federal portion of the show here, we're open today until 5 p.m., tomorrow till 8:30 until noon. You can always bank with us online and our mobile app, which is free to download. Our ATM's open 24/7 as well if you need some cash. With our online apps, you can bank 24/7, pay bills, transfer money, check balances. They're very convenient. We've had some exciting news this year with Zelle person-to-person payments coming online. We have some exciting things coming next year. Just a sneak peek. We'll be looking at doing some online checking account opening. We're looking at maybe implementing some business online banking. We're looking at a new mobile mortgage loan app that make it more convenient and easy to apply for mortgage loans. We'll talk about that in a little bit with Ben and John. We offer many different types of mortgage products. USDA, FHA loans, conventional loans, one-step construction loans, premier first-time homebuyer loans, and more. Ben, John, we offer lots of loan products. What are the popular ones right now that you're seeing a lot of?
My personal favorite is the Premier First Time Homebuyer deal, where we, with approved credit, of course, you can have, you can do a no PMI loan with 5% or 10% down.
That's very unique in the market, isn't it?
It is. It's very good. It's been very well received. So it can save, $50 to $100 or more off your payment.
And the PMI, right?
Yeah, and it's still a fixed rate loan, so there's no worries about.
And PMI is private mortgage insurance. That means that you don't have to carry that with loan.
Normally, when you put less than 20% down, you're required to have what's called private mortgage insurance or PMI, and it's designed to help the bank cover any losses if a borrower defaults. So it doesn't benefit the borrower in any way, shape, or form. So there's a lot of people that try to get out of that quickly as they can.
Because it's an expense that they feel is not necessary,
Exactly.
but it helps. Yeah.
But it is a necessary evil. It helps. It has helped a lot of people
Get into houses that wouldn't get into houses before.
Exactly.
That's one thing we'll find with our first federal loan programs. We have many programs that fit many needs, and we're in the business to make mortgage loans, and we want to be very aggressive about that. So we try to be creative with our loan products. We have, one closed construction, permanent fixed loan. Do lots of home equity line of credit lending, but we'll talk about that more in a few minutes. Our checking accounts, we offer simply free checking accounts and simply free business checking accounts. That means when you open your checking account, you don't have to pay a fee, but also you get a free gift. The gifts now are a knife set or a DeWalt multi-tool. We're also open for business for commercial lending. Lindy Breeden can help anyone out. Don't hesitate to contact Lindy for commercial lending needs. Contact Ben or John for mortgage lending needs. We also offer financial services. We talked about the stock market a few minutes ago. Mark Lubaugh and Brian Bell are always willing to help anybody out. So if you're concerned about tax planning for the end of this year and the next year and want to have some advice, don't hesitate to call Mark or Brian at the bank and with our financial services area. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on LinkedIn. In our lending programs, borrower must meet underwriting guidelines, and we are a member of the FDIC and equal housing lender, and our NMLS number is 399927. Today, our special guests are Ben Daulton and John Schaeffer. Thanks for joining us today. You both have a lot of great experience in mortgage lending. How long have you been in mortgage lending?
I started in 1996, so that's 23 years for me, and Ben came before me.
It'll be 25 years here in end of April.
That's great. Almost 50 years of experience and from the local lenders, and with us being the hometown community local lending bank, all the decisions are made here. We service the majority of our loans here. In fact, one of our trivia questions was how many dollar amount loans we generated this year, well, we service, that means you make your payment if you get a loan with us at First Federal Savings Bank. We service over $1.6 billion in loans. That's really phenomenal if you look at other community banks in northern Indiana. There's no one like us, and we do it better than anyone else. And we're going to talk to John and Ben about that today. The mortgage loan experience for the unknowledgeable or if you've never done it before can be an intimidating experience. But with Ben and John, they try to make it easy for you and make it simple and give you straightforward information, answers to questions. If somebody were to apply for a residential real estate mortgage loan, what kind of things do they need to be prepared with when they come to the bank or fill out an application online? What are some keys that they need to be prepared with?
Okay, this is a good opportunity. Like we had several opportunities in the last year or so to go to the late Jeff Shriver's class at Tippy Valley.
That's right.
Explain to the seniors about their next step, what they're going to do after high school, and we would start with a question like that and let them know that. And by the way, Jeff was great for encouraging young people to be prepared, be thinking ahead, and education. And
I know he provided many opportunities for the bank to come in and speak to the students about financial planning and mortgage lending and general banking. I know Jody and Amanda have been there several times. Been a great partner with the bank in trying to educate our youth.
I even took an underwriter with me, Jenny Shaw, and she was a great help when we made a presentation there.
So if I'm going to come see you for a loan, what do I need?
The things we would ask for initially, this happens in several stages, but initially we need to know how much you're earning, how long you've been on the job. We need to know what you have for a down payment, if any. There's some programs that don't require a down payment, but still there would be some closing costs, and how we're going to handle that. For the small down payments, the conventional loans will have that PMI we were talking about, unless you're in the Premier program.
First-time home buyer.
Right. We have first-time home buyer programs that reduce the cost for the first-time home buyer with a credit from the bank. So we're doing everything we can to make it more possible, more attainable to get to that goal. And the thing is, you never know until you ask. What's available to you to just come in and say what are the steps I need to take now even to be ready to do this in 6 months.
And to be prepared. Now's a good time of year to start planning. If you think about moving or want to build a house or even have a home equity line of credit need, for a home improvement or anything like that, now's a good time to start thinking about that. And don't be afraid to contact John or Ben at the bank with any questions. We'd be happy to help you out.
And I've had people as young as 19 that are prepared enough that they qualify to get a home mortgage loan. Maybe they worked through home or a family business and have saved enough, and they're ready to make that step. And didn't even think they were, but once they check into it, they are.
So I'll ask for some information, some history, some credit history, some income history, some job history, maybe some information about the home that you have or the home you want to buy. Then Ben, what do we do with all that information? The mortgage loan processing part of the application.
Put it in a blender and spit it out and get a yay or nay. Kind of like that.
And how we do that, we try to work with the borrower all along the way.
Yeah.
Like there's always a little exception somewhere about something because we all have a story, and all those are good stories. And so
we have guidelines that we have to follow. Debt to income, you got to have you got to stay under 45%, typically 43 or less.
So that means your gross income, basically.
Yeah, we use gross monthly income. So if you're making $20 an hour, we take $20 an hour times 40 hours a week times 52 weeks in a month divided by 12. That's my formula.
And then with that percentage you gave, we don't want your monthly obligations to be greater than that.
Yeah.
What percentage was that?
43.
43%. Okay.
Typically. And like you said, there are exceptions to that rule, but credit is another big not hurdle, but another big criteria that we look at. I'd say usually when I talk to people, I'm saying the debt to income and credit are 1A and 1B as far as order of importance.
Because what we're looking at is trying to say, you know, how have you handled your other bills, and that is an indicator to some extent of your ability to handle your new mortgage payment. There's always some circumstances that we can work around with that. So.
And that's what's good about First Federal and our local leadership, that they will take those that have had some hardships and maybe not circumstances beyond their control, and they take that into consideration, and it's hopefully a good experience.
So I hear the courthouse bell ringing. We must be about out of time, right?
It's getting close, but
So-
hey, I mean, I'll
so
be
the
back
overall-
as long as you want.
The overall application process, how long does it typically take? Just to let a borrower know.
If things are ready and going according to plan, we typically say 30 days, and sometimes we can beat that by a week. The whole process does have a fair amount of details, so all of those have to be addressed.
Yeah, that's dependent on an appraiser getting out and doing the appraisal in a timely manner, and we've got great appraisers that do that, but sometimes if rates are sliding down, they're very busy and we have to wait for that.
Downhill, yeah.
Then we do verifications of jobs sometimes, and that takes a while for the employer getting back to us. But we work with you all along the way. We try to keep you informed to every step along the process. We have the ability now to do online applications too. Through our website, you can go on there and learn information about our loan programs. So in making loans, don't hesitate to give Ben or John a call. Look at our website. We've got information about loan programs. Our interest rates are on there. I mean, interest rates now have been in the 3 to 4% range for the last couple of years, and those are really good rates. To be honest, the difference between a 3% and a 4%, yeah, it's 1%, but the payment doesn't vary that much. So sometimes people want to time it right to make sure they get the best rate. Well, John and Ben will work with you on that, and it's our job to put people in houses. That's what we do. That's how Dick started the bank, basically, to make mortgage loans.
Right, and the online application experience is new, really in the last 5 or 10 years, but it works well. It helps. A lot of people have busy schedules. They can do that, and then when they come in, we have something to work with. We have something to talk about. Don't have to do it that way. Not everybody's ready for it, but
It's a great way to get a jump start on the application. You can fill out some information or all the information, and that allows John and Ben to maybe have some other questions prepared for you to help you along the way, because that's what Ben and John do. They counsel you along the way, to help you buy that new home or to refinance your home, and that's what makes us different. That's what makes us lead the market, because we do have that interest. We have local people that care, local people that look at the information and make the decisions. We can make it so that you make your payments at the local bank with us. That's what we do in all our markets. And that gets to our trivia question. Our total dollar amount of mortgage loans made by First Federal Savings Bank in 2019. We still have a few days left, so you guys probably have closing scheduled even this week. It has 5, that's
Today.
good. 5 today, okay. So
one today.
that's great. You can see we're very busy. We love making loans. The question was, what is the total dollar amount of loans that First Federal Savings Bank will make in 2019? Is it A, $250 million, B, $275 million, or C, $300 million? What do you think, Paul? I'm not going to ask Ben and John because they know. I know.
I'm gonna go with B.
B, $275 million. That's a great number, but we're the top number.
Oh.
Almost $300 million this year.
Oh wow.
We'll make over $2,000 loan, over 2,000 loans this year, and to be honest, we're the best in the market. I mean, we know what we're doing, and if anybody has a question or need, don't hesitate to come see us. In Winnemac and Rochester, Ben and John can serve your needs. We've got a great lending team, and we're happy to help you out. So you don't know if you don't ask, so don't be afraid to ask. As we close today, Dick always has kind of a pearl of wisdom, and I came up with one shortly before we started today. I think this is very true. Everyone you meet has something to teach you. We're all learning.
True.
Very true.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Ben.
Thank
John.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jody,
you.
for helping us out today.
Ben,
Well-
John, Jody, thank you guys for coming in.
You bet.
Todd, thanks for filling in.
And the last word, we want to wish our customers and our First Federal Employee members best wishes and blessings for a new year.
Yeah, it'll be 2020 before you guys are on the air next for the first federal program.
Thank you, Paul.
And that'll be next Friday right here on WROI.